Hey there, John Morse here, johnmorseonline.com. Welcome back to another video. This one I'm going to be talking about freelancing and how to figure out what services to offer and what you should charge for those services. And if you guys haven't checked out the community page on the channel, I've been doing a lot of polls over there about the kind of content that you guys want. So be sure to check that out. I think it should come in your feed, but this is one of the things I asked about when it comes to freelancing. What are you guys sort of struggling with the most? And getting work is the number one thing here, which I sort of expected. But figuring out what services to offer and what to charge is still pretty high up there. And it's I don't want to say it annoys me when I see that, but it is a little frustrating because I think that should be one of the easiest things. I don't think that should be something that should really hold you back. And so I really want to try and obliterate that sort of roadblock for you. So that's what I'm going to try and do in this video and give you some ideas about how you can figure out what you should be offering and what you should be charging. Now, I have a web development background, and so some of the examples that I might use here might be a little bit more web development heavy, although I'll try to use some other ones. But again, the process we're going to go through here isn't necessarily just for web developers. This can work for anybody, no matter what sort of freelancing you're doing. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into this. So the first thing that you really need to do is you really want to do some research. Just get out there and start figuring out what sort of services you could even offer, what the names that people are giving to these sort of things are, and so forth. And so the first thing that I sort of did is, for me, I just did top freelance tech skills because I want to get an idea of what the most popular are, what the highest paying are. And when you do, you'll see things like this. So the Upwork Skills Index, so fastest growing freelance skills in Q4 of 2017. So you would click through on something like this. Now, this isn't tech specific, right? This is just the top skills. So if you were in tech, you might want to try and narrow that down, but you'll see Bitcoin is up there, Amazon, DynamoDB, React is up there, Shopify development, maybe Swift, machine learning, 3D modeling, motion graphics. So this gives you some idea of the general skills that are available that are out there that are fastest growing. You can come through, and here's the 20th highest paying freelancing skills right now. And so you sort of go through this and you can get an idea. Network analysis, computer vision, chef.io, neural networks. Maybe these apply to you, maybe these don't. But again, it's going to give you sort of an idea of the kinds of things that are really, really high out there. And you just want to do this sort of research. There's a couple that I found that I want to point out to you that are the kind of things that I think that you're looking for. So one is this, which is on Forbes, which is 55 freelance businesses you can start for free tomorrow morning. And so if you scroll down in here, you can see some things that are really relevant. Social media marketing, so you can help people with their social media campaigns. I've actually been hired to do that before, even though that's not really something that I do. Blogging. Tons and tons of businesses are looking for content. I talk about content all the time. If you're someone who can provide that content for them through writing/blogging, then that could be something that's very lucrative. Teaching, interpreting, copywriting, photography would be a really good one right now. Article writing, sort of the same as blogging. Legal work, graphic designing, virtual assistant work. This one for developers, you could maybe look at that and have an immediate sort of gut reaction that you don't want to be called a virtual assistant. I don't know. But doing this kind of work, if you're someone who is still sort of developing your web development skills and your coding skills, virtual assistant work can be something that can be really valuable to you, because a lot of times what it is it's installing a WordPress site, it's setting up plugins, it's setting up a theme, or it's doing things of that nature. And that allows you to sort of get into the business a little bit and start working on those sort of things and start working on tech-related projects while you advance your coding skills. And then once you get to a point, you can start to add that as add-on services. So virtual assistant work is a really good sort of segue for web developers or web designers that are still sort of learning their actual technical skill, to sort of make that transition a little bit earlier than what you might think. course programming, and so forth. And so you get a nice list of different things that you could be doing here. The one I really like is this one. This one's from Upwork, which is a really good source for this stuff because a lot of projects are posted here. This is the top growing and declining skills in the world of programming. Now, this is a few years old. However, the data still, I think, is pretty relevant. And I haven't found an updated one for this yet, but it gives us a starting point. None of this is about being hard and fast rules or anything like that. But what's interesting to me is the top growing skill on here is probably something that you never would have imagined. I sure wouldn't have, which is PSD to WordPress. I just, of all the things that I experience on a daily basis and exposed to, that just never would have imagined that was the thing, but it is. Second is WordPress plugins, Excel VBA. So that's essentially being able to write really, really advanced, fancy Excel spreadsheets and the formulas and that sort of thing. Usability testing, Shopify. You'll see down here we have WooCommerce, database management. Maybe you could become, do usability testing for people. So again, this will give you some idea of the top growing skills. You'll see some of the declining ones down here. That might be something to pay attention to as well. But again, this just gives you sort of a starting point. And then the next thing. So you want to just get out there and do this sort of research and just sort of be in an idea phase. And as you're going through all of this, you just want to write down things that just sort of stand out to you. Something like maybe PSD to WordPress, you're like, that stands out to me. Maybe virtual assistant, that stands out to me. Maybe WooCommerce, that stands out to me, right? And you just want to write things down that stand out to you as something that you might want to do or that you might be capable of doing, and get a list of maybe 5 to 10 things that you sort of feel like you could do those things, you want to do those things. Then the thing to do next is to go into actual Upwork. And let's go ahead and go back to PSD to WordPress since that one was so surprising to me. And you'll see here for PSD to WordPress in Upwork, there's 349 jobs. And you can sort of go through and get a sense of what's in here and the market. So intermediate pricing, so the $2 signs is sort of an intermediate range. That gives you an idea of sort of the budget. 3 to 6 months, 30 hours per week. That alone, that project right there, 3 to 6 months, 30 hours per week. Let's say you're charging $25 or $50 an hour. That alone for a lot of people could be enough. That one client could be enough for them to make what they want to make freelancing. Okay, so just sort of keep that in mind. This one has a budget of $1,000. Less than 1 month, but 30 hours a week, 150, 1,000. This one's $5. Nobody's probably going to hire that one. 60, 420, less than a week, 10 to 30 hours per week, 10 to 30 hours per week, less than 10 hours a week. So you can come through and get sort of an idea of what the market looks like inside of Upwork and see if there's any sort of jobs. 350 jobs is not bad. 8 hours ago, 58 minutes ago, 1 hour ago, 3 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 9 hours ago, 9 hours ago, right? These are all, looks like all of these were less than 24 hours ago. So people are posting for this. Another one we saw on this list was, the second one was WordPress plugins. So we can come over here and we can do WordPress plugins, or maybe just plugin. 1,700 jobs. Long-term WordPress developer, plugin customization, functionality, and design. More than 6 months, 30 hours per week. That could be what you need. CSS work with the events calendar plugin. Make custom pre-order form in WordPress. Okay, so again, what you're going through and doing here is you're looking at the market, seeing what kind of projects they are, how much people are paying for these projects, and what kind of things they're asking you to build. And you sort of are maybe noting trends, right? Check and fix WooCommerce error, looking for a professional beta tester for WordPress plugin, software tester, ongoing role, BuddyPress. So you're just sort of looking, is there anything that sort of keeps coming up over and over again, or things that stick out to you that you may want to do? And you can filter down even more. Maybe you decide, okay, I like the WooCommerce stuff. We've sort of done this. I've done this in past videos, but let's look at WooCommerce. 1,300 jobs. make our e-commerce platform more user-friendly and intuitive, add products and product variation to WordPress WooCommerce store, high-end developer, WordPress developer wanted, etc. And you can go through here, how many jobs are available, what are they charging, is this the kind of work that I want to do? And as you go through here, if you see something that has like 2 jobs and the jobs are horrible, then on your list, maybe you sort of scratch that off and say, I don't want to do that. But if you find something like this where there's a bunch of jobs, it seems like there might be good money, and it's something that you want to do, maybe put a star by that one and then write down some of the specific more niche things that people are looking for. So maybe you want to do some of this more virtual assistant type stuff. This is adding product and product variations to WordPress. This isn't coding. That's actually going in and just putting in the stuff. You could get paid $200 to do that if you want to do that. Maybe you want to get into some more of the coding stuff, etc. It's all just about going through and getting sort of ideas and seeing what people are willing to pay and if it's something that you want to do. And then the next thing is just do a Google search for what the specific skill is and then add the word developer to it. So this is the kind of search that a potential client might do. So you want to see what they see and you want to see what the market looks like. So when we do PSD to WordPress developer, the number 1 listing is actually over in Envato Studio. And so this is really handy, actually. I would use this in Envato Studio just the same way that I just used Upwork to get an idea for stuff like this. So you can see for PSD to responsive WordPress, PSD to WordPress coding with responsive design, you have all the way down to $100 all the way up to $750 that people are charging for this. So let's just click into this first one here. Charging $475 has done 3,678 jobs. Now, I don't know if that's all this particular job. Maybe it's other stuff, but this is the number 1 listing on here. Seems like he has a decent number of reviews in here. So maybe this is something he's doing on a regular basis, but getting paid $475 a pop to do this. And if you notice over here, down here it says, if you have more than 1 page or 1 page with very complex details, please contact us first. So he's really only doing 1 page conversions here. So that's interesting to note as well. So that gives you an idea of what is being delivered and how much they're charging for it. Let's click into this 751. Continue to design into high quality responsive WordPress theme. Responsive slider. Design can be provided in any modern format. This service includes a slider, a gallery, jQuery Flex, Google Maps, and up to 7 unique pages. The scope of this service does not cover coding for theme for us. Okay. And then, so again, it just gives you an idea of this is what they're delivering and this is what they're charging for it. So that starts to give you an idea of what service you could provide. So let's go back and see if they have WordPress plugin in here. WordPress plugins, that's probably, is that going to be plugin customization, WordPress theme essentials, custom WordPress plugin development service, charging $600. And let's see what they're delivering. No branding, installation ready. Yeah, it's not super detailed on what they're delivering, but it gives you an idea. They're charging $600 for custom WordPress plugins. Now, that doesn't mean that the plugin that they're delivering on is this super advanced. It's like one of these big plugins out there. These could be really, really simple plugins that they're charging $600 for. It just sort of depends. So again, this gives you an idea of what the market looks like, what's being delivered, and what they're charging for it. And you can start to put together. You got to use some of your own tuition. You're not going to be handed all of the answers, right? You got to fill your head full of data and then start to put the pieces together. But again, this information is out there, and it all comes down to what the service is, what's being delivered, and how much they're charging for it. Let's try something that is like totally off the wall. So one thing I see a lot is writing. And so let's just say top freelance writing skills. Writing and editing skills list and examples. Maybe that's something here. SEO skills, research skills, familiarity with relevant software and programs. Okay, so this is sort of telling them what they should be able to do, and maybe writing is just the thing, right? So maybe it's just writing. So let's go over to Upwork and let's type in writing, I guess, and see what comes up. 24,507 jobs. Writing article, minimum 3 words of unique SEO web content. 3 blog forum commenters needed. Writer for Java, same meaning required. WordPress e-commerce, shopping cart expert needed. Copywriting business, travel proofreader, right? So these are all sort of like individual niches. So you have basically just article writing. That's one sort of niche. Blog commenter, which you can decide if you want to get into that or not. I think this is probably writing the descriptions for different products. So product descriptions, SEO copywriting, a travel proofreader, ebook, Kindle, ebook formatting for Kindle. So let's see. Ebook formatting. Let's see if there's something like that out there. 211 jobs for ebook formatting. Okay, so ebook formatting for Kindle, 2,000 words. A gay romance writer needed. Looking for fitness and self-help writer. Experienced fiction writers. Okay, so you can sort of go through this and figure out if this is the sort of stuff that you want. And let's do ebook format writer. I don't know if that's going to get me what I'm looking. How to write an ebook. How to format an ebook. Let's see. You can always add the word hire. Ebook format writer. That's maybe not the best word. Hire ebook writers, content services. Hire an ebook writer. Let's see what this brings us. Yeah, that's just their services page, which is fine. You want to find other freelancers who are doing the same thing as you. You find their services page. Top 10 ebook formatting freelancers for hire in April 2018. Okay, so book interior and cover designer, ebook print book designer and formatter, $20 an hour, 90K earned, 12, 6, 16, 5, 12, 40. Nothing earned though. 33, 20, 40, 60K earned, 100K earned. Again, so you look at this and like ebook formatting is a really sort of like niche thing. And yet you can still find jobs for it. You can still find people who are making 100K doing it. So that's some obscure stuff, but you can find it out there if you just sort of do the research. So start off with the skills, like get a list of ideas about skills like I showed you, and then pull out the ones that sort of appeal to you, you think maybe you could do, maybe you want to do, and then go in and start doing market research, which is the second step. Market research to figure out, are there any jobs? How much are they charging and so forth? So market research, and then finally offer research, which is, okay, what is the specific offer? Like what's being delivered and what are they charging for it? And that will give you a good idea of then what you can offer, what you specifically have to deliver, and what you can charge for that. So this is all ultimately just a research thing. Get out here, do the research, use these sites that are available. Come up with even, Envato, Upwork, Google. There could be others that I'm not thinking of that you could think of that you could use to look, and Freelancer. You could use all the different freelancing sites. Fiverr, you could go and find stuff there probably. And just, again, use these sites that are already out there, these marketplaces, to do your research and figure out what the market looks like and what you can offer. So again, at the end of the day, I wanted to make this video because I just don't think this should be something that can hold you back. All the information is out there. All you have to do is take probably 30 minutes to an hour and do the research, and you should be able to figure it out. and get an idea of what you can start offering. And then the other thing, sort of the trump card in all of this, is you don't have to be perfect at first, right? You don't have to have it down exactly. You just need to get started and get going. And as you get going, you sort of develop a sense. One of the things that I did, that I learned as I got started doing freelancing, was when I built sites for more well-known people, I got a lot of people that wanted to have me do clones for them. And I created this entirely new thing I never would have thought of off the bat, called a clone, that based off of it made me a ton of money. So it made me a ton of money, and it was based off of just me getting out there and doing it and learning and adjusting as I went. So get started with something. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then as you get going, don't be afraid to adjust and tweak and move and sort of figure it out as you go. But do not let this be the thing that stops you. So hopefully that helps you, give you a process for how you can get out there and start doing this. If so, I'd appreciate if you would like the video. That would really help me out. Also, if you want to support the show, what I do here on the channel, you can become a supporter of the show at johnmorrisonline.com/Patreon. Again, get access to all of my courses, my freelancing courses, my Upwork course, all of my coding courses, plus all of the source code for tutorials and so forth that I have over there as well, plus all of my future courses. So again, I'd really appreciate that. The link again is johnmorrisonline.com/Patreon. All right, that'll do it for this episode. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified when I post new videos. And as always, thanks for watching.